Hello, and welcome to Master Fran Art Stream. I'm your host, Master Fran, and this is my art stream. It's a fine Wednesday night, Wednesday, January 15th. It's a cool night, kind of cold. It was cold most of the day, and honestly, I was tired most of the day as well. Spent most of my day kind of just napping a lot. I'd say it's that winter hibernation stuff. But you know, things have been pretty all right. There hasn't been much different for the past, I guess, maybe few days that I was working on this during a stream. I was dotting, plunking around on this, polishing this, and that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this stream, is kind of just doing more work, polishing this up so it's better looking. Obviously, there are some flaws, and of course I will address those flaws, but it is what it is. Hope everyone's doing well. And Big G Dog, welcome. This will be a nice, simple stream where you get to listen to me play a bunch of, well, I'm not going to be playing it, but you can listen to the wacky Mario 64 remixes of notable songs. It's a nice collection of, Mario 64 sound font, plus actual Mario 64 music there as well. So, it's pretty nice. It's a nice just collection of sound font remixes. I know in this playlist is a bunch of My Chemical Romance or Linkin Park. I believe it's the entire album of Hybrid Theory. So, you intro with Crawling. So that's kind of just one of those fun little things. So, trying to have a little fun working on this as I go, and just plunk down the little bits that I can with this commission. I had this commission since September, and I still need to get that done. I think once I get this commission done, I will probably either take a break from commissions or probably do something smaller like icon commissions, things like that. So that's the general gist of what I hope to do after this. The rest of the year is mostly just me working on Black Mass, like actually going radio forward with Black Mass. And hopefully the music's not too loud. I gotta double check this. I was adding the recording from last stream, and I noticed that my voice kept cutting off so much. So hopefully this one has a better noise gate, because I'm still experimenting with those noise gates and making sure that it's not completely messed up here. You know what? Let's completely rework how the staff looks and give these a nudge. Then we're gonna use this as a curve, like say this. We connect each as a little bit of a wackier curve here. That's about, and then that should be a more interesting curve here. Because that way No. I want it to be blurring sideways, kinda. I just brainstorm how I could make this a bit more dynamic. One thing that I do want to try is having the staff kind of just curve as it twirls. Do something like that. Luckily, I saved a whole separate instance of this, so I don't have to worry about ruining it. You ruined it. You made it worse. You blew it. Yeah, that can easily be a mindset you can fall into, is you make a mistake and you feel like it's ruined forever. And one thing that's tough, well, for me, you know, I'm a bit of a perfectionist myself. You could probably tell from what I'm drawing right now that I give a lot of crap about the quality of my things. Is that there's a whole lot of detail that I'll be doing that the layman would probably not even notice, even if you pointed it out. They'll be like, oh wow, I never even noticed that tiny detail. I'm like, but your brain knows. It's one of those like red letter media things where you're not gonna notice what your brain does. Stuff like that. And there's some slight truth to that. You know, you can spend most of your days, you can spend most of the time kind of just wondering, hey, this is much too Alright, this ain't working. They just need to just keep it a stick. Why am I overthinking this? I don't even know. Then again, yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, thanks for the lurk. I'll be dicking about. Damn. They'll certainly be here. I know I'll probably be streaming for 2 hours. It's currently 7:49. I'll probably be streaming till 9-ish. 9-ish, 10-ish, whichever-ish. Do some stuff with that. But yeah, I haven't really been doing any significant different things. I've been doodling some stuff. You probably follow me on social media and kind of see me reposting gold snake art, I suppose. But other than that, not really doing any significant new drawings. Most have been writing. I've been adding some, or at least editing, Black Mass stuff, where I'm kind of just looking at the lore bits that I've written about Black Mask and just picking 4 to 8, and kind of just cutting the fat about all the notable things. And you know, it is what it is with that, and it's a slow, steady process where I'm basically just reassessing my real project list and deciding, you know what, if I'm going to be spending so much time on a thing, I need to downscope a bit and make some real cuts. So that's kind of just what I've been up to, is just taking another ponder at the project list overall and kind of just seeing, okay, what's important really? Like, what am I trying to project about this game? Of course, the game is about, raccoons stealthily treasure hunting. Then the world building is me kind of like deciding on the proper theme, Black Mask. Thinking, okay, what is this place actually about? And try to just nail down the core, maybe the core idea of Black Mask. That's kind of just what I've been staring at my old writing, deciding. I'm trying to just put my foot down on the less, I guess, perfect aspects of it. Be like, stop being a perfectionist and just choose the thing that you actually want. And that's what I've been tackling, say. I don't even know if it's making it easier. Of course, that's up to me to figure out, so that's one of those things. But yeah, I mean, Black Mask is alright, because I have a whole bunch of like stuff written down. Just a matter of actually just looking at it without cringing. Being like, oh, this is cringe, I need to change it. No, stick with it. Stick with the draft, change it later. Because you don't even know what's working until you actually look at it and read it and be more objective about writing and speaking. Otherwise, you're gonna end up shooting down, or no, not even just shooting down stuff, but just spinning your wheels working on a thing that, working and reworking a draft instead of having the draft set from the start. And then you can actually work off of that. I've been recently reading Write Fast, Write Better by this guy's name. David Freixel. So yeah, it's called Write Fast, Write Better. And it's been pretty helpful. Because a lot of, I guess, my writing issue is just a prep issue where I'm completely unorganized overall. And that makes sense. Most of my writing stuff is in vague places all over my files where it's like, okay, one thing's over there, another thing's in a notebook, another thing's in a different notebook. I'm kind of like, you know what? I just need to have something. And I'm also just debating on just going back to Google Docs because I've yet to find an alternative program that's good with cloud stuff like Google Docs. I'm like, fuck, man. Google Docs is the worst. I bet it has a monopoly in just this program stuff. Because, you can always write in your phone, and then everything you write in your phone, it ends up being useful. Everything you write in your phone, you end up being able to transition that to a different, you can continue typing into it in the computer. And it's much, much more convenient than trying to either organize all of your writing files. You have to worry about overwriting your files and stuff. So that kind of sucks. But yeah. I suppose that's kind of just the issue with technology. I'm gonna have to bite that bullet. That's most times. Most times you gotta live your life and bite bullets. It royally sucks because, in general, you never want to be in a situation where you gotta bite down a bullet. I'm sure there's a lot of people, currently dealing with some garbage stuff. Let's see. I mean, you got California with everything on fire, so that kind of sucks. Plus, of course, you got the typical starving kids in Africa things. But it's not like you're really, or at least it's not like I am making significantly hard challenges in my life. And it's mostly just me not feeling that I can write stuff good. Not good enough. Then I'll probably just find you. I think that's one big thing that I do need to work on today, just clean up the staff. Yeah, I think that'll be my task for this stream, just clean up the staff. And get it nice and working. I'm trying not to be crazy perfectionist about this because this is supposed to be in motion. No one's supposed to see it blurring. Of course, I'm gonna see it blurring. I'm gonna see all the draggies and how weird it looks. I'd say that's the artist's plight. Because you're an artist and you're deep into weeds and all this stuff, you end up seeing all the flaws and stuff like that. And I'm sure when I look at all the previous commissions, I could have did more than this. And you're kind of you can't be back there. You can't just be stuck in the past. That's a lesson that I gotta force yourself to learn. To do it and let it go, bro. Yeah. Just let it go, bro, and just shoot for consistency. Shoot for consistency and just knock this down. And that's the key to success, I'd say, is being willing to just make the right call. Just say, fine with this, let it go. Yeah, what else have I been up to for the past maybe 4 days? Let's see. Well, I mean, I've been reading Wings of Fire. And I think I'm up to, the 14th book, if I remember right, if I know the count. Dealing with the hive wings and silk, all that stuff. And of course, it's simple. It's a simple story, and I mostly am reading that series to get myself to just get in general. It's kind of tough because it's all right, you're reading Wings of Fire. They're really fast reads, and then you try reading Write Fast, Write Better, and it feels like much more of a slog. I think one thing that I'm noticing, that I'm realizing that I am becoming a better reader, is that I'm at least noticing why why the middle grade fiction book is a fast read is because, well, one, the font's like set up much larger. So because the font's much larger, you can just read, there's less words overall per page count. So you're able to kind of just grind through an entire novel in basically an afternoon. Or in a few hours, stuff like that. So that's why I've been able to kind of just flash through most of the series, because I'm halfway through the 14th book. I really have the 15th book just, from the library, just ready to roll. So I can just hop in, no problem. I think one thing that I kind of screwed myself is I made the made this middle thing much too complicated looking. Because while it's supposed to be a actual tangled up thing, like it's supposed to look like this normally, it's not supposed to be. They're normally supposed to look like this, but of course, because it's in motion, you can't just be like that. But if you play this, you're not even gonna notice that it's chunky looking. So that's kind of just me. And I believe this is playing at a frame rate of 66. So yes, it's 30 FPS. Good. Yeah, 66 milliseconds. That's the equivalent of 30 frames per second. It's bright. So it's looking decent. Just you're seeing little bits of fuzz, some spots. Like I would adjust this specifically. I'll probably just do that instead, just get rid of the more egregious aspects of it. Alright. Yeah, with all this Godzilla, with all this, Linkin Park stuff, I also remember that I saw the 90s Godzilla recently, like last night, and yeah, it is not very good. Of course, it's, most people believe that, but it's like, they have the credits the credits theme is a Rage Against Machines song, and it's kind of insane because most of those lyrics is just them dumping on the movie industry instead of talking about Godzilla. It's kind of like one of the lyrics is like, forget the giant monster, look at the real forget Godzilla, look at the real monster just lurking over us, trolling us and stuff like that. It's kind of like, wow, I can't believe Hollywood let them do this. But then again, I mean, this is a world where Squid Game is most people were like, oh, let's make a sequel to freaking Squid Game, because that is, that explains so much to people. Let's make a real life Squid Game. Let's make a sequel to this anti-hyper-capitalist thing and completely ignore the very points it was making. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of just how that goes, is, think there was like something to this. Like I think there was an article, I forget what it's called, where it's like you can't really critique capitalism or the like the crappiness of the system, because it'll just end up reinforcing it like a parasite way. Think about that. That's probably also the point of Parasite as well, the other Korean movie. I don't know if it's the same director, but it would probably track. I hear there's a huge incel problem in Korea, but I know like a whole lot of fuck all about that place, so it's probably either out of context. I think there was like a 2-second coup in Korea, and then that kind of stopped. Yeah, my world knowledge is kind of just crap because I'm still just stuck dealing with the day-to-day life of trying to survive, basically. Yeah. Which one's the stat? Staff is all the way down here. Everything's just so far off. Yeah, what am I rocking? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. 13 layers for an animation. Holy cow. If this was in actual hardware, I think this would take up a whole arcade board, I think, if it was like this layered and stuff like that. 13 layers of pixel stuff. Plus, currently, we're up to like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 moods. I should add one so it's an E16. I don't want to like add more frames. I don't want to be like end on an odd loop, so gotta make sure that it's actually 15. So yeah, this is practically an arcade sprite. All right, you get you working. Oops. You are supposed to work at. Oh yeah, it's kind of 90s Godzilla is, it would take work to really fix it, because a lot of 90s Godzilla is like really aping Jurassic Park in a lot of parts where I'm just gonna talk about the actual movie because it's kind of just who cares. So 90s Godzilla, the 1996 Godzilla, Zilla, whatever, is it's the American Godzilla, and it's about the American military trying to figure out what this giant lizard's doing in New York, and a lot of the characters are New Yorker as hell. Full ass New Yorker accent. and you just got the works, like straight out of Brooklyn and all that stuff. And it's kind of just one of those silly things. Plus, there's some cool stuff where I forget that actor's name, but he's like the French actor who's the star of Leon the Professional and stuff like that. And he's in this movie, and he's like this, I think, French, I guess the French equivalent of their CIA. I forget like what their actual thing is, but he's a special agent trying to cover it up. And he's working with what's his name, Matthew Broderick, like the guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I actually had to look that up. It was just looking so familiar. But he teams up with Matthew Broderick, who's a scientist in this movie, and they're basically just researching. Okay, let's figure out where Godzilla's nest is in the middle of New York City, because otherwise, Godzilla will attack and stuff like that. So the rest of the rest of the movie is kind of like interesting because Godzilla lays eggs. I suppose it's asexual or a hermaphrodite, who knows? But let's see, it can lay eggs and it can make little baby Godzilla. I don't know if they would all be collectively known as Godzukis, maybe like Manillas, Minizillas. I forget like what the actual Japanese Godzillas are, like the actual baby Godzilla names are. I'd have to ask Vandy about that because he would know. He's the one who actually knows about Godzilla stuff, and I'm kind of like, I like Godzilla -1. Godzilla -1's a nice movie. Then I kind of just vaguely gesture at cool kaiju shit. And I also feel like that 90s Godzilla movie kind of poisoned perception of, I guess, Godzilla, I guess, as a thing, where most people were that one take of, why are we looking at the people? I'm just here to look at the giant monster. I feel like that movie kind of contributes to that take, because most of that movie is mostly the humans. So I can kind of see probably the origin of where this nod is from, because you see Godzilla -1 and the humans are hella compelling in that one, because of course they are. It's it's probably best possible Godzilla that you can watch so far. Now, obviously, if you haven't seen Godzilla -1, I recommend it. It's a great movie, and you will enjoy the plight of a Japanese World War II non-suicide bomber pilot, because he doesn't a lot of the crux of that story is he's a suicide bomber pilot who refuses to take the mission and feels guilt over it. So that's kind of just how that goes. But yes, back to, I guess, 90s Godzilla, because it's like, I don't know if I'm fascinated with it, but it's something to talk about as I do. So Matthew Broderick and all that stuff, you got them looking for the Godzilla nest. Meanwhile, he got his love interest out there, the lady. She's trying to be a reporter and has to hang out with I forget what the guy's actual name is, but that's I think Hank Azaria. No, that's the other Simpsons actor. Not Hank Azaria, but he's the voice actor of Lenny. I forget the other I forget the other Simpsons voice actor, but he's like the voice of Lenny, and you can hear it in his acting as the cameraman. And you know, it's pretty it's okay. It's kind of just one of those things where it's a dumb action movie with most of these things, and the action's pretty mid. Like, most of it is aping Jurassic Park, which is funny because I think this movie came out the same year Jurassic Park 3 came out. So you had the T-Rex walking around the city. Like, in Godzilla, like in the 90s Godzilla movie, Godzilla's not that large. He's not even more than 4 stories, really. Like, in other Godzilla movies, he's like towers over most buildings. Meanwhile, this Godzilla is teeny, like practically iguana size. That's got is one of those things that that's one of those things that I guess most Godzilla fans are like, yeah, this is why that Godzilla movie is just inferior, because it's a tiny, pathetic excuse for a giant kaiju. It's kind of like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. And it's kind of just one of those things where just most of the acting is just wooden, and a lot of the action is just really boring. Well, except the French guy. I like the French guy. I like his little digs at American culture. Like, there's this one thing where him and his team are disguising themselves as Americans, and you know, they wear military gear and stuff like that. And one of the notable things is that all of them chew gum. And I think Matthew Broderick character's like, why are you all chewing gum? And you know, the French Jew's like, yeah, it will make us look more American. I'm like, God damn it. Because while I was watching the movie, I was also chewing gum. I was like, son of a bitch, he's right. It's just one of those silly things. There's a lot of the satire does hit sometimes with that guy, so that's why I've taken a liking to man, I can't call him Leon because he's not actually Leon, he's the actor. I forget the guy's name. I'm sure when I'm editing it, I'll probably like drop the name someplace. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. And there are also some other like silly little digs where they, you know, the French team has a giant collection of guns in order to go fight the mini-Zillas. And he's asked, how did you get all these guns in the country? And he's like, this is America. We just bought these guns. Oh, man. They're tiny, fun things. But honestly, it's kind of a slog to get through sometimes. No. Oh yes, I mean, 90s Godzilla movie is not that good. It's not even like a so bad it's good type of thing. It's just not. Like, it's very, very boring. It's tough to sit, honestly. So I could not recommend actually watching. So, thinking about it, I'd say it's actually a good teaching moment, because you know, the one thing that you know, you probably will learn, or you won't learn, that in order to know how to make good, you know, good creative things, it also helps to know what a bad creative thing actually looks like, and not just know what it looks like, be able to explain why it's actually bad, instead of simply saying, oh, this is bad, I'm not gonna give it my time. I'm kind of like, yeah, and you're just missing valuable learning time. And as sucky as that, as sucky as that is, I mean, it is important. I'm not a person who enjoys studying in general. Like, every time I'm like, oh, I gotta go study some freaking thing or research a thing, I just feel incredible unwillingness to do it because it's, studies are boring. You do master studies, that's boring. And you end up kind of just wondering why I even bother working on a thing. But it is important. It does help you learn whole new things. And that's sort of the same with, keeping your eyes, or at least keeping aware when you're either reading books or watching movies that are probably not even going to be your bag. It's at least trying to cultivate a means of like saying, hey, what's this trying to do? And is it achieving that thing it's trying to do? This should be a... Okay. All right. I think what I'll do here. Fuck. Yeah, so let's just have the GoldenEye theme playing right here because it's pondering time. There been a James Bond movie recently, or even like an announcement? I haven't heard any James Bond anything at all for the past, I guess, decade. When's the last James? Can't think of the last James Bond movie. I know one. I guess I can't think of it. Because there was like one Daniel Craig James Bond, and that was about it.
We have a very special guest for you tonight. I'd like to introduce...
Oh, yeah. Do it.
Now for a lesson in rhythm management.
Like, reduce that down. What?
No, wasn't that fun? Let's try something else.
Okay. Now we'll clear you out. Alright. Progress is being made. Of course, as I'm working on this, I have this constantly playing on my preview thing to kind of just see how it's actually working. But so far, it's actually looking pretty decent. I would say I need one more blur here. That'll work. I also feel like I need to add another blur to this. No, not gonna add too much crazy stuff. Just to be plenty. That should be good. That, put that there, and that should be good. Or like add more stuff here. That's good. Bada bing, bada. I still need to see Nosferatu because I'm constantly being recommended that movie. I'm sure it's fine. I'm not like, I guess I'm not like big with A24 movies, but I dig them. I saw the Lighthouse, which is by the same director, so I'm sure it's gonna be real solid. I guess it's tough to justify like taking the time to go to the theater because usually my free time is in the morning, so I want to use that to work on getting this commission done or get writing. I'm super behind on a lot of writing stuff, especially my blogs. Like it's 2 weeks into January and I still haven't even finished my year in review blog because honestly, who cares? It's a bunch of convention stuff. I made a New Year's resolution to a bobber. And it's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Oh. We'll have the staff blur. Only. Have a slight blur here. Good. May like have the arm moving slightly up. We better. That's looking good. That's good. Looking real nice. Alright, it's looking decent. Yeah, for all the shit posting that the sound font is, I still just love the hell out of the original Mario 64. I guess I'm just still, despite all the bullshit Nintendo does, I'm still just too in. Most games don't give me what I want. And it's like, yeah, most of those games are the same, but it's like, they're still good. Like, even the worst Mario game is better than most other... No, it's better than most other games' worst. Like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yes, I'm being a giant worthless fanboy, but it's like, there's something there that I just cannot get from most other games. Like, I can't even get a cool 3D platform because no one wants to fund a cool 3D platformer. That's the frustrating part about, I guess, video games, is that you're kind of just stuck in someone else's task stuff, or you're kind of like, okay, some cool things are happening, but you don't really get the ability to enjoy it returning or showing up at all. And getting older games in that series or franchise is made tougher and tougher because some goddamn reason, older computer software ends up being uncompatible, or at least, older computer software ends up being uncompatible with newer computer hardware, and it has to re-release the same game on a whole new console, even though it's just software. Yeah. Of course, they make keeping those games around impossible because, you can't pirate, piracy is illegal, stuff. Meanwhile, it's impossible to actually purchase those games or get access to those games because it's like, you have to have this specific console from this era, plus you have to have this specific plug, plus this specific output connector. And if you're going even older, you'll probably need to get a specific TV in order to actually have it not even like be accurate, but actually function. I think there are some games, I think like a lot of early 3D games, like, PlayStation 1 and 64 games. Hell, even like a lot of Saturn games. A lot of those games can't really be emulated. Like, they're built so weirdly because, it's the early ages of 3D. Nobody knew what the heck they were doing with, like, rendering and stuff like that. At least console 3D. Like, I think Quake was, like, still killing it. But, you just had a bunch of... you had a bunch of old 3D games that couldn't really be re-preserved, and you can't really experience them without those actual hardware. Thing is, that actual hardware, they had that limited run, and they're now harder and harder to repair because you can't really get them again. So it's one of those just garbage things where, you can't really enjoy older games or older franchises because there's no, I guess, incentive for the big companies to really re-release or reinstate it because they want you to buy the new one, because they want you to spend more money on the new one and keep spending money on the new one, even though the service will go down very quickly. It's just also just an annoying thing. I don't play a lot of games these days. Like I used to. I think the worst of that, I guess, model is Team Fortress 2. And I managed to at least not play that game too much for that, without needing to buy hats. But it's not like Valve is clean from this, They still gotta, they're still basically making skins for profit. And of course, you gotta Counter-Strike and stuff like that. So it's not like the Valve doesn't do this stuff. Okay. You. Link. All right, things are starting to work better. Let's see. Looks kind of stiff. That should be fine. Looks better. At least I'm making better progress with this. I do need to figure out something with those leaves, but yeah. Yeah, I'm nodding to this. This is working. This is working a decent bit. Still need to clean up the head, clean up the shoulder pads. There's also a bit of mess. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue there. Clean that up. Got like a stray pixel. Oh. Now we gotta play a spot where the fuck that pixel went. That's not it. But it is it. Oh, it's locked. Okay. Relock you. Oh yeah, that needs to be down there, or the arm needs to be down. Why is it like that? Oh, their bodies set up like that, huh? Let's just delete extra. Just do that. Okay, smoother loop. Okay. I feel like he should rotate his arm out, then get it. Let's see. I like to rotate the arm out. Not gonna be perfect, but let's look smoother. Alright. Probably need to move this arm much closer. Working much better than how I originally had it. Then I get rid of some selection so I can push the elbow further out. That should be a smoother roll. To be slightly lower. Made slightly smaller too. 'Cause I think that arm's much larger than it needs to be. Close arm. This would be much smaller. Link, perhaps I can up. Nudge you up. Yes, I can. Totally works. I just filled your taxes. Oh, that's convenient. I still gotta wait for my job to give me my papers so I can do my taxes. Usually my taxes go smoothly, though I just go to a tax person to deal with it. I mean, my tax person pretty decent. Real helpful, answers a lot of my questions. Tax season goes very, very smooth. That's nice that you at least knocked that out fast, because yeah, it could be a pain in the butt sometimes. Okay. One thing that I'm gonna do is add just a wee bit of stickler here. So it's a good, yeah, that's a good transition to. Yeah, man. Nice. Looks much cleaner. Control S, that works. Alright. And everything else is mostly just. Whole host it still needs to be done. So let's see here. But still looking crusty in a broad sense. Shoulder pads are still looking like garbage. And also the legs aren't shaded. Maybe I can quickly shade the legs right now. Yeah, let's see if I can't knock out the legs before I need to go to sleep, because that could probably be doable. And then again, this line art's kind of crap. He's wearing specs. And it's kind of interesting with, I guess, a lot of, maybe modern day fantasy character design, where he kind of has a lot of modern day equivalents of clothing made as fantasy stuff, mostly out of, I guess, new fashions or just reworking decency standards, maybe. Because yeah, it's like, okay, you got specs. Of course, obviously that didn't exist, but you kind of like have the equivalent. Like I know Link wears something like that in Breath of the Wild, where it's like basically boxer briefs types thing. And yeah, apparently Link was supposed to wear something much smaller, but of course, you know, obviously they probably couldn't get away with that. Or maybe they could. I actually don't know how Nintendo was developing Breath of the Wild. But yeah, what was I saying about specs, I guess? I guess it was just an observation where I'm kind of just seeing like, certain fashion choices end up influencing or maybe retroactively influencing, I guess, modern day character design with stuff like that. Like obviously, you know, you have girls not like obviously wearing white panties all the time because like, yeah, it's kind of weird that you want people give a shit about this. But then again, I think it's also the fact that underwear fascism really looked at that much. Like, there's not really much in terms of underwear fashion that's really out there for, dudes, really. I know I wear, like, I wear boxer briefs because I like not having my thighs scratch on each other and chafe. Yeah, I think that's the chief reason why I wear boxer briefs, especially like athletic, I guess sweat, high exercise boxer briefs, is because my thighs, I guess they rub on each other as a kind of chafing thing. Though half of it is probably because I'm just a fat ass and I should actually lift things more than a cheeseburger. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of just one of those things where you're kind of like seeing alternate things of underwear fashion, I suppose. I don't know where I was going with this. I think there's like, maybe I could probably find a YouTube history of underwear fashion, I guess in like medieval underwear fashion. Who's that fashion YouTuber who would go through that and talk about that? I forget her name. She like talks about the history of Victorian wear, how, Victorian women would put on the dresses and get ready for her day, stuff like that. Like a legit reenactor. Stuff like that. I forget the channel's name at the top of my head, but she does good stuff. So honestly, I've been meaning to take more time to not simply look at YouTube videos all the time, because it's like sometimes I question if I'm actually learning what the YouTube person is saying, or am I just listening to the background noise and just having it fill out that background as I'm either driving a boring ride or I'm just passing the time, inking sketches or whatever. Obviously it's both, because listening to video essays is always like one of those things that's, it's decent. You'll end up learning something. It's just, I think I'm realizing that I need to improve my learning in general. I am trying to push myself to actually sit down and look at art tutorial videos. I gotta just get myself better at accepting other people's knowledge instead of just slamming my head against the tough aspects of art. Like, I'm actually watching color theory videos, oil painting videos by Drawmix Paint, to kind of just get myself to learn how to just get better at coloring in general, because I don't feel that I'm that good at coloring at all. It's kind of funny because it's like, yeah, I'm doing pixel art. I can totally do coloring. But that's not exactly. I feel like pixel art's not 100, like, it's not one to one, because most of my pixel art is from other people's palettes. I never made my own custom palette for pixel art. So I'm sitting on, I guess, other people's glory, kind of. I forget what that term is, where you just, stolen valor and stuff like that. This could probably be this could be further up. So it's not as even. I just noticed that the legs are a little too even, so I'm kind of just readjusting that. It's not as even looking. I get rid of a little bit more. Boom. Okay, that's looking much better. Oh yeah, still need to color in his actual thighs here. Oops. Yeah, sometimes if I'm not paying attention to layers, I can end up filling, or at least filling up what's not needed. But sometimes you want to just do as much drawing as will actually be seen, because otherwise you'll just spend a lot of effort on what will probably not even be seen. Like if it's going to be covered with a loincloth, drawing the entire detail of things not going to be helpful overall. So that's the tough thing. Well, it's not that tough, but you know what I mean. Okay. I love when Mario 64 version of like a lot of perfect dark music. Love to listen to that. I feel like a lot of Perfect Dark and GoldenEye still doesn't do stuff like that, like the multiple objectives thing. So I don't know like how Call of Duty does its single player campaign, so I wouldn't know. But you don't really have many games that are like, you know, have multi-objective difficulty, where the difficulty is more determined and determines the objective than the enemies themselves. No, I'll just let this go. Let it go. Good. Whatever's covering it gets covered. Copy and paste you. Hell yeah. Yep, gonna copy paste you. Hell yeah, mother humper. I feel like you could probably like settle. Yeah, you could settle. Unlike this. Have you rotate. Oh. Have this leg light rotate. Have this leg slight rotate. Looking good. Is it going slower? Looking smoother. Same frame rate, but it looks slower. Okay. All right. I ain't gonna. Have him settle back. Perhaps he could levitate, maybe? Can. The music stopped. Oh well. Oops. Unlink. Kind of now just in Ultra Instinct mode, where I'm now hit a stride with this, where I think I know what I need to do, and I just want to focus on getting this down because frick. Right. Subtle. The one thing that sucks is can't. Right. Also, And I'm like seeing this for too long. I'm like, this twirl could be much, much faster. Like I could put this on once, couldn't I? You know what? Let's save this. Put this in. Another sprite. Continue. Yeah, let's save a new. Let's open a new class. Of course, I need to guess which one is not a complete save wreck because my hard drives got reworked, or at least it got detected in the wrong spot. We'll do 16 stuff. Hopefully that works. Yeah, this is into work. All right. All right, let's try one frame, huh? Wait, no, okay. That looks better paced. Yeah, that looks better paced, actually. It's like, let's see. 1, 2, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. I feel like I should add one more. Like this should probably be 16. Okay. I can know what I need. This. Have a wee bit of right. you rise up here. And accept this. Use lights. Okay. I think the leg should. Okay. I think I'm now hitting a point where I'm kind of just over animating. I think this was plenty. I think maybe I'm kind of just overworking this right now. Yeah. I think I'll just wrap for now and just get this down because it is looking much better than it did before. Looking much cleaner. Of course, obviously the shoulder pads or nest could get worked on. Plus, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that can be dealt with. Plus, you gotta add the rest of the leaves. But now it's looking much better. I'm pretty happy. Alright, I will wrap the stream for tonight. I think I'll stream next Monday because I got the day off work for, MLK Day, so I will stream next Monday. That'll just be the week stream for that. Anyway, thank you all for attending my stream. I think next week I won't continue on this commission. I'll just tackle something different because you've probably seen this for the past 4 streams so far. I've just been locking in for most of this stuff, so it is what it is. Anywho, thanks for stopping by. Let's see if there's anyone to raid, perhaps. And if not, I will, just go to sleep afterwards. Why is it sorting by people I'm actually following? Let's see. Yeah, I want to direct it to riff tracks. It's done. Speedrun. Alright, I won't raid. Anyway, I guess I'll just see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone.